All right, welcome to the first Octagon Cleaning and Restoration Podcast series. We're going to be making an introduction for myself, the owner and founder of Octagon Cleaning and Restoration, and be introducing you to Brad Rosenberger, our general manager. I'll start with a brief summary of who I am and how I started. I started this business about 23 years ago. Started out very humbly doing carpet cleaning, floor care. It was me, myself, and I at the beginning of this company, and it's grown into a 60-employee operation today with 4 offices, 2 in Maine, 2 in New Hampshire. We serve all of Maine and New Hampshire. I specialize in indoor air quality, certified indoor environmental consultant, a asbestos management planner, inspector, design consultant, and I don't have a lot of day-to-day involvement with the operations of the business. That's something that Brad is handling now from start to finish and doing an amazing job with. I love the industry. I find a lot of satisfaction in helping our clients get through really difficult times, get through water damage disasters, fire damage restoration projects, mold remediation projects, asbestos abatement, and a whole host of other things that we hope never happen to our homes. It can be pretty traumatic for a lot of customers, and there's a lot of reward and a lot of pride in helping customers restore their lives and kind of get their homes and their livelihood back. It's something that I think isn't for the faint of heart, but for those of us that choose this industry, there's a lot of reward and a lot of satisfaction in this business. And our primary focus today is serving our community, serving our customers, and serving our team. We're a very team-focused company. We have a mission and vision to enhance the communities that we serve, to enhance the lives of our employees, to provide ongoing opportunities for our team. And I think we've done an outstanding job of meeting and working towards that mission vision, especially over the last few years. And Brad has a quite extensive background in management in the corporate world, and he's brought a lot of that experience to our small kind of family-owned business and is helping us to kind of push to the next level. I'll turn it over to Brad, and if you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, that would be great.
Sure. Yeah, my career started out in grocery. I did not start out in this business for sure. Started out in grocery, different areas. Started running grocery stores back in the early 2000s. I've also worked for some large retailers, nationwide retailers. And ran a number of different stores over the course of my career with hundreds and hundreds of different employees that I got to be a leader to. I got to the point eventually where I grew kind of weary of it, and my wife would call it maybe a little midlife crisis. But I came home one day and said I want to do something different, and my wife's really cool, so she said go ahead, and I joined a competitor who is a competitor of ours now up in the Bangor, Maine area, and learned a lot. Learned to really appreciate the business and the work that's been done, that the people do, and how helpful it is. We recently, mid last year, we moved down to the Lewiston, Auburn area to be closer to family. And you have often said to me, like, things work out the way they're supposed to work out.
Yeah,
right?
Things never turn out the way you think they're going to. They turn out the way they're meant to.
And here I moved down, bought a home down in Auburn, moved down, had to leave my other job, but had confidence that I'd find something the right fit. And then sure enough, the opportunity Octagon came around, and grabbed that real quick, and been enjoying it every day since.
Yeah, likewise, I can say that we've definitely enjoyed your experience and expertise here. And I think where our company is in our growth phase, I think met perfectly with your background and experience to help us kind of go to the next level.
Yeah. Yep, I agree.
Good. Well, I'm going to take a minute just to talk about Octagon Cleaning and Restoration, kind of why we exist, what we do, and sort of what differentiates us from everybody else out there. As I mentioned before, I think we're a company with 4 locations, 2 in Maine, 2 in New Hampshire. We have 60 employees. We really try to emphasize the creed of do no harm and to follow the best practices, follow the industry standards, to do, number one, what's right for the customer in every situation, and to do what's right for our employees. Our employees are the reason we exist. Our purpose is to create a good, safe working environment for our team, to make sure our employees have every opportunity available to advance. And as a team, we can be a really powerful force to serve our clients. And at the end of the day, that's our mission, that's our vision, to be technically accurate, to follow state, federal, all the local guidelines, to follow all the OSHA safety standards, and to try to become a better, more cohesive team every day. And if we do all of those things and we serve the team serves the client, nothing but good things happen. And I think at the end of the day, that is the mission and vision and purpose of the company, is to enhance the clients we serve, enhance the communities, and enhance the lives of our team. We are moving aggressively towards being more green, towards having solar panels to offset our electrical usage, having electric vehicles to reduce our carbon footprint, installing heat pumps in our facilities, using environmentally friendly products when possible, which is most of the time if you're doing the right things in this industry. And at the end of the day, I think our mission is to just become better every day. And I'd like to turn it over to you, Brad, to tell us how you are helping to implement and execute that mission vision.
Sure. Well, first of all, just going back to what you were saying about, the importance of our team. I think that when we were first talking, when we first met, I could see that was important to you, and that holds true in my heart too, because we can't do anything without our team. And I think that we have a wonderful team that gets better and better every day, and that's, I feel, what really drew me initially to the company, to Octagon, is how we take care of people. And then the customer aspect, I've been serving customers my entire career, and it only seems natural to continue doing that. I think that we set ourselves apart by caring about the customers and by caring about our team like that. I think that that's where we get our strengths. But I'm curious, like, you started out cleaning, right? And how did you make that transition into restoration? Because it's somewhat the same, but not, not in the same path.
It's a path that I've found that a lot of business owners have taken over the years in the industry. And I think it may not seem intuitive, but it is when you're in the weeds of it. Starting out in this business, doing the carpet cleaning and floor care, one of the inevitable things that would happen with a lot of our commercial clients was they would have flooding and water damage and want our assistance in it. And initially, I shied away from it. And as we got more and more of those requests, and I started seeing more and more companies performing what I would call politely suboptimal work, I decided that I could do it better and I could do it effectively, and I could provide a more kind of wraparound service for our clientele. So we evolved from the carpet cleaning and floor care company to a water mitigation company, and the water mitigation turned into developing specialties for mold. And the mold's a very different world than the water damage world. I mean, it's related, but it's different. It requires, to do it well, it requires a high level of expertise, training, commitment to doing things the right way, to continued education. And that led me to the IICRC AMRT course, which is the Applied Microbial Remediation Technician course. That gave me a really good background, a good sound fundamental understanding of the industry and of what I was doing. And we branched out into doing mold remediation work. And over a period of years, I would say roughly from 2006-07 to 2012, we transitioned from carpet cleaning, floor care, water damage to really being heavy with mold remediation, water mitigation work. And the business we are today, we do very little, if any, carpet cleaning, and we do no floor care. Our business is entirely indoor air quality focus on water mitigation, mold, asbestos abatement, and really anything that can affect indoor air quality. We also deal with a lot of VOCs. We deal with viral cleanups. During the pandemic, we were certainly busy doing a lot of infection control cleanings. So yeah, it's kind of the wild west of remediation is what we've kind of evolved into. And what you find out there that I find frustrating, intriguing, and kind of an opportunity is, in this industry, there's a lot of guidelines and there's a lot of regulations that sometimes are enforced and sometimes are loosely enforced. And it's up to the individual remediator, the individual company, I think, to have a high moral compass and a high level of integrity to do things the right way, because there's not always, unless you're in the world of asbestos where it's highly regulated, the other pieces of our business, it comes down to us choosing to do things the right way and being committed to doing things the right way.
Right.
And that's my passion.
That right way isn't always the cheapest way. It isn't always the easiest way for us.
You've got that right. It's often not.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a major deviation from doing things sort of haphazardly, but it definitely requires more effort, more labor, more focus, and it requires the company to be honest. If you do it as a manager or as an owner, if I do a walkthrough of a job and it doesn't meet my standard, it requires me to insist that we redo that job to the proper standard. And that's the frustrating part, is not every company operates that way, because it's not always profitable, but it's about putting people over profits.
Right. The long-term goals, the long-term.
It's about the creed of do no harm.
Gotcha.
And if you're leaving a job that's not done properly, then you are in all likelihood doing harm to your client. You know, you have all the spectrum of clientele that we're working for. But most built environments, residential and commercial structures, have children, they have immunocompromised individuals, elderly people that don't have the same immune function that a normal, healthy, younger person might have. And that's where I derive my passion, is in doing things the right way, setting the bar high, and serving our team and serving our clients.
I like how the team has followed that too. Like, the team knows, the team is just as important to our newest tech, you know, on the job as it is to you.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it starts from leadership. You know, if you have a leadership team and a management team that puts profits above all else, I think you're going to have a team that, you know, is there to just earn a paycheck, and they're not there to serve the customer.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, you know, and I know you've seen it as well, that our team cares about their customers.
Yep.
And if things aren't being done the right way, it doesn't last. It gets brought to our attention, we fix it.
Yeah.
And you know,
they're our biggest eyes out there.
They are.
I mean, we hear from them more than anybody, and we get people that are like-minded like that on the job, and then, you know, there's a synergy to it. So the 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2; it equals 3; it equals 4.
Yeah.
They get amazing things accomplished by working together and having that same core value.
Yeah, I agree. I've been honestly very proud of the progress, the growth, and the transformation that our company's undergone over the last few years, and I think especially under your leadership. So I can tell you we appreciate it.
Yeah, great.
So what drives you in this business? You came from a retail background. You came from the corporate world.
Right. Yeah.
What on earth drives you to continue in this crazy industry?
Yeah. Well, you know, like I often think, boy, you know, I started this a little late in my career, and how cool it would have been to start earlier. But, you know, I'm good. You know, my background, and I felt, and I said this to you one time, and I don't know if you remember it, but I felt like, you know, this running this type of business, where in the past when I worked for, you know, companies that were $65 billion a year companies, and mistakes were easily covered, no big deal. And here, how every day the decisions I make have such a stronger impact to the company and to our team. I mean, I hold that really, you know, close to my heart.
Sure.
And I think it adds a level of excitement that gets me out of bed in the morning, that we can move. We're small enough to move quickly, but big enough to be stable. And then as far as the industry, I mean, I just find it interesting. I always tell people, I said, I can tell you exactly how to take a house apart.
Yeah.
I can't put it back together, but I can take it apart. And just the things that I've learned from a personal nature, like I'm a better homeowner. I can help my family more. I help people every day in some fashion, either directly or indirectly. You know, and like one example, a Pentagill up in Harrison, Maine. You know, like it just had, you know, wonderful conversation. I get to go to her house on Thursday. We're going to be helping her out, and she's in some need, and we're going to be there for her.
And that's part of the give back program that we created to donate jobs once a quarter to clients in need. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about what that give back program entails?
Yeah, so when we go out and our team does a lot of inspections, a lot of estimates, and every once in a while we find somebody that's in a state of need. Their home is not. It's not a proper living condition, and in this case, she has mobility issues. She's awfully alone, and it touches our heart. And even when sometimes you just have to.
Did she share with you how she became immobile?
No, I didn't.
She was jogging one morning and actually got hit by a car.
Oh, really?
And is paralyzed from the waist down.
I mean, sweet disposition and a positive attitude, but yet she's not necessarily in a position to be able to help herself and have the resources. So. I'm getting to go there on Thursday. We're going to go through what needs to be done, and we're going to figure out how we can do it. And, some of that's going to be on our dime, but that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay, because you don't have to make money on every single person that you come across in your life. Sometimes you give a little back, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, that kind of stuff excites me. Seeing our team grow excites me. Seeing, one of our employees who wants to learn and just absorbs everything that we say and takes advice and runs with it and becomes better for it and has better jobs because of it and better interactions, that kind of stuff. I love. I think that I think our company. That's our differentiator, in my opinion. We have a number of different differentiators between us and our competition, and I really think that it's our team and that core value that differentiates us from others.
What differences do you find between the competitor of ours that we will not name that you came from before Octagon?
I think it's the level of detail. It's how we approach jobs, and I learned a lot when I came here. It's like, wow, I thought everything was good, and in a lot of areas it is. I'm not putting them down. There's different philosophies. We just go extra steps.
Yeah.
And we do it with less chemicals, and we do it with more ingenuity. And, removing those mold spores as opposed to just destroying them.
Trying to spray them.
There's a difference, from an allergen standpoint. And it's just the level of detail that we go into. And then also like doing the right thing every day and making sure that we might write an estimate. We might have an estimate that encompasses what we think the job is. And there's something else that really should be done. We just go and do it.
Right.
We just go and take care of it.
Yep.
And you don't even have to mention it to the customer. There's no billing involved with that. It's just doing because we know in our hearts we did a good job then.
Yeah, you do no harm.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, great. We appreciate the insights. And I guess in our conclusion, what's your view of the future vision, mission of Octagon Cleaning and Restoration over the next 12 to 24 months, let's say?
Okay. Well, my focus is, a lot of it's around business. So, I'm looking for efficiency. We're going to be, diving into more training, getting everybody level, because we have different people at different levels. We have, people who are veterans and people who are new, leveling out that level of expertise to gain more efficiency from a business side. I think that we're also focusing on our project managers, making sure that they're representing us well out there and have all the same core values, which they do. Just how we're expressing them, I think, is important. So we continue. Ultimately, it's a matter of if our core value is taking care of our people, taking care of people. Part of that is a strong, stable company that's going to be there for them for years to come, 100%. That they can grow and develop and raise families.
Yep.
That's the part, that's important to me right now. There's a lot of business things,
Yeah.
of course.
Oh,
but really at the heart of it, it all
ending.
comes down to, I just want a good, stable company that's growing, that continues to grow, and gives our employees and our team everything that they're looking for in a career and, in their lives.
I think a good business serves the team, serves the community. And I think if you focus on serving the team and serving the community, it gives back and multiplies.
The rest comes.
It definitely
for sure.
does. It definitely comes. And I think the purpose of this podcast series is to hopefully educate our customers, educate people around the great state of Maine and New Hampshire and around the country about who we are, what we do, and to hopefully elevate the standard in this industry and to provide some really good content and information as time goes on. We'll make these podcasts better and better every time, and we'll take your feedback, and we'll see you in the next one.